we are just going to be cleaning it a bit. Then we're taking a bit of the scales off with the knife, which I'll show you now. I'm just honing it with the steel so the edge is straight. And then when we're done with this, we're taking out the innards and the head with the gills, and then we can stake it, which is what the boss who's holding the camera is wanting me to do. So we can just scale. Easiest way to do this, you could also take the skin off just like that. Okay, that's a bit more complicated, but if you want to do that, you could do that as well. But for us, what we want to do is just scale it, because we don't want the skin to be taken off. We want that for our steaks. When you're washing the tuna off like this, what you want is cold water. Okay, and if possible, do salt water. But for us, we don't have access to salt water, so we're keeping this as dry as possible. And basically just washing the knife. And then when we're ready to actually take the scales off, we will rinse it just a tad bit with fresh water. Okay, so here the scales get bigger. If you have a sharp enough knife like this, you could actually just peel that off like so. Okay, like so, and you can see that gets peeled off easily. Okay. And here it's all bone. Be very careful when you're doing that, but that's basically the head part. This is pretty scaled. There are scalers for sale that basically don't let the scales fly off, so that's a very good one. Okay, before we finally stake these, just some water, get everything clean. All right, so we will slice the belly a little bit. Okay, you can start from the top, or you can just locate the vent, put your knife down there, and then follow up. Don't stick it too deep, because if you do that, you will puncture the stomach and the contents would flood out, and you don't want that. So what you want is just to cut it shallow. Okay, there we go. And then you'll have access to the stomach contents, which you can just pull like so. Okay, and then you can okay, this bit is edible, so you take that. This is male, so that is the milk sac. Okay, so you take that off. Careful, because actually good to eat. So take that off, and then you could pretty much separate it. Okay, now it is the innards. That's actually good bait. You can eat this if you want. That's the liver. We don't. The heart, the liver, you can eat. We don't do that. But that's it right there. Okay, so that's also pretty good if you want to eat it. Probably for the dogs. There. Okay, so now this, the gills, you can take that off together with the guts. Easiest way for us now is just to take this all, okay, cut in. Now there's a membrane that holds it. Okay, so you just cut that off, kind of like near the throat, just like that. This is trashy. You can see peeking from under there is a sardine. Okay, this is the heart right here. Okay, that's edible. I'm gonna keep this for the dogs. Okay, now with this we can just clean the inside. Put a bit of water in there. We have running water, but it's just easier to show with this. Okay, get some more water. Since we're staking these, okay, it's actually fairly fast to do. We will make cuts to size the steaks. Okay, so cut it like that, and what we want to do is just cut it like so. Okay, right now all I'm doing is cutting one side, and obviously the bone is still there. Okay, and what we want is just to size it so that when we cut the steaks, it's easier. Now we'll be using a different knife, and as you can see, I didn't touch the head because once that gets cut off, that's basically when you will also just do it once with the cut the head off, cut the gills off and all that. Okay, so one fish I think we're gonna fillet. It's easier to eat as fillets. Okay, one word, when you reach this bit, there's bone here, so it's gonna be kind of difficult. So what you could do is just cut like that. Okay, and that's your marker. Okay, and then basically your last steak would be here. Again, cut it like that, and that's your marker. Okay, and so basically you have two steaks before the head. That's going to be a bit difficult. Now, you can see this is kind of thin. Okay, you need a thicker knife for the job, for the staking. This is what we have. This is a very strong knife. Okay, the blade is pretty thick. You get a mallet to help us with the job. Now, this is gonna be quite fast. So, just like that, boom, boom. Go. Okay, so that. There's a bit of a technique. Okay, so first thing you do is hit it going forward like that, and that basically takes care of the bone, and then you can cut through, as you can see there. So it doesn't crush it. Okay, so again, cut going forward like that. When you hit it, what happens is that it actually makes the blade go forward like that, because when you're cutting, you're already cutting up to here with this, with the other knife. So basically what you're doing is just going through the spine there, and then the rest is just meat, like so. And if you don't do that, the meat actually gets crushed. See, tilting it, boom. See, so you can feel it because it gets soft. And then from there, it's just basically slicing out some parts. Sometimes, like this one here, the skin, it's the skin that's actually tough. That's the top part. There's some bones there from the fin. Okay, so again, tilt forward. Okay, so the knife is basically going like that. Okay, like that, and then boom. Well, as soon as you hit, knife goes like that, and then there, just easy as slicing. Then you have a beautiful steak. All right, you've seen me fillet tuna before, so but we use a Japanese knife. So now we're actually using something different. Okay, so I've always wanted one of these. This is a Taiwanese potbelly, knife. Okay, and I've been waiting for one of these for a really long time. So, so the process is basically you skin it and then you fillet it. But there's, well, you'll see. All right, so we could actually just fillet it, and the process is kind of similar, okay, to a regular knife or the Japanese knife. Okay, but the thing is, you can actually move forward with this and back. As you can see, it just cuts like so. Okay, and it's still pretty clean, exactly the way the Japanese one does it. But instead of just cutting one direction, you're actually cutting two directions with this. And actually you can cut it when it's standing up like this. Okay, so then you push. Okay, you can push just like the well, you can push and pull instead of just pull. So you can see here I'm pushing, and it's on a different position than the Japanese blade. Okay, now at this point I actually have it loose. Just cut the side here like so. Okay, and then you can cut in the middle here. All the way to the back like so. You'll find that actually cut really nicely, except for this part here where there's bones. I don't want to use that because it's kind of delicate, so we're taking our big one and basically just running through it like so. Bang, just like that. You'll see that this actually already separated pretty much. So kind of the same thing, but not. All right, so there's a nice fillet right there. That's pretty cool. Now you can just reposition this. As you can see there, that's almost cut, and we just basically run this through here. Now there is a layer of bones here, the crossbone. So we run our knife just at the side to separate the crossbones and the fillet. You'll see that comes right off. easily. Those are the crossbones right there, and then we can cut that so that we have a flat fillet. Okay, there's actually people that like this part right here, so I don't know if you're one of them. Okay, so just like that. Okay, and then we'll have that part of the crossbones, and again, kind of easy. Now, for the skin, you can take a regular knife and then just run through, like exactly like we do with a Japanese knife. So that process is the same. But I really like the process of this knife. I really like it because it's very efficient. So again, let's do this. Cut here, like so, and we will actually cut this. We will cut the fillets, so that the crossbones will remain on the carcass. So that we have the crossbones right there. Okay. Making sure that I got the crossbones. Then from here, we just cut the side. Like so. Quite fast. Okay. Again, the tip there is because of the bones. So I just use the big knife to go through the bones, because the bones you can take care of later. Okay, so that taken off. You can deal with the bones very easily by just taking that off, just like that. So it's not that difficult, and it's kind of not any different from the fillet knife. You know, it's just that the stroke that you're using for this, 2 strokes. You know, you're pulling, you're pushing. So from here, you're pushing, you can do like that. You know, there. And something you can't do with the Japanese knife, the pushing part. Okay, so for this, you can pull like that, and then you push. Very efficient. Okay, so for this one, okay, so you can see done. And I think it's a bit faster. What you have to do then is just there we go. All right, guys, we're gonna make a tuna steak, and it's gonna be very easy. We have our garlic butter here, and then garlic. The tuna has been defrosting for a little bit, and we will be getting some, there it is, thyme. We put a little bit of rosemary. This is just to flavor the butter. Okay. So the heat was getting too hot, so turned it off. Okay, we have to go slow like that. Make sure that the pan is hot when you do this. Put your steak there. Ang taklob tanay. I like covering the pan. I cover this so that the heat inside will steam it as well as fry it. Turn the fire off and let it sit there and cook in the residual heat for about 10 minutes, and it should be perfectly done. Okay, so this is the belly section. I'm just gonna get a piece. I cooked this for my mom and my brother, and really good. dinner. So, but this is really good. So, cook the way I did, and basically just a little bit of salt after. Alrighty, so yep, get some of the garlic. Really good. Alright, that's it for this video. Till next time. Class dismissed. Dinner served.